Our social media platform, the YouTube videos, Peter Anamo. And then I want to just tell you that, look, this is the place you can not be on earth and not discover. And if you have discovered, this is the place you cannot afford to miss or afford to get off or afford to be going to other platforms. Because this is a family that will take you beyond life. Science, with all the explorations and discoveries, cannot tell you anything beyond life. In other words, beyond the living, into the dead. No, they can't. But this place, we can give you in-depth information. And that is why you need to get yourself connected to these YouTube videos, Peter Anamo, and tell others about it. Especially when you watch our video, please like our video. Very, very important. Why? If you like our videos, it makes the YouTube system explode it, so that people who don't know of will also get the privilege. Remember, you and I have the duty and the responsibility to spread the truth which the world has hidden for all these thousands of years. That is why Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, said, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Remember, our series that we are here to give to you is the series on the end of democracy. The end of democracy. You have seen the other series, and we are now coming to present to you what we are giving you now on the same series, the end of democracy. Some people might be wondering, so what is it got to do with democracy and the church and then God's matter and God? Yes. What is here that is important is that God and heaven have a government. Actually, the government of God is what the devil copied to come and teach this world to establish governments. The governments in this world and the nations of this world do not belong to God. It is not God who fixed it. No. Adam and Eve left God's presence. So God left them to their fate, and they decided to live and do things with the devil. And it is the devil that set up all these nations of the world and the system that is running. No wonder when Jesus appeared on earth, the devil said, "Bow to me and I'll give you all these kingdoms of this world, for it was given to me." So you see, that means the kingdoms of this world were given to him by who? Adam. So God doesn't own it. Adam gave it to the devil legally. So the devil has a legal authority over the nations of this world. The first nation God was able to start was in the days of Abraham. And unfortunately, that little nation rose up, conquered, and later on said they rejected God. They don't want God. So you must like this video immediately as you are listening, so that you don't forget, and share it to others that you know. And if you are a first comer or a first viewer of our videos, please subscribe so that the next one we can be able to give it to you. So all became the end of God's nation on earth when Israel rejected God as a nation that he formed from Abraham. So currently God has no nation. So when Jesus was coming, God the Father told him, remember to carry a government. And a government means God knows the needs of human beings. Of course, the Bible said that I know your needs before you even mention it to me. So God knew that we have the biggest need on earth, which is the need of a government. That is why every nation, every 4, 5, 6 years, they change government. They keep on changing government because what they want, they can never get. That's the truth. None of us is able to get what we have been looking for. That is why it is difficult for people to maintain governments. But I have good news for you. Jesus brought a government, and it's a perfect one that the whole world will enjoy when we establish that government. So somebody will say, so what is it got to do with God and government? Yes. God began his idea introducing government to the world way back in the time of Joseph, when the devil planned to wipe out the whole earth with famine. What did God do? God used the little boy Joseph and redeemed the whole world And that chance gave Joseph the opportunity to become the prime minister, even when he didn't belong to that nation or that citizenship of that nation. So Joseph was the first person to exhibit the government of God on earth. And in those days, the pharaohs controlled the whole world. They were the superpowers. So Joseph also controlled the whole world. Pharaoh said, according to Joseph's word, people will go in and come out. He will just sit on the throne and he will hand over decision making to Joseph. So look at that. So if God could show us this, that means God was preparing the world to come to a time when we shall be able to have God's government on earth. And the second opportunity came when God put Daniel and his 3 friends in the administration of Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel reigned in 2 governments. Nebuchadnezzar, his 2 sons, and his friends. So all this goes to prove that God is interested in the government affairs of this world. And all these were introduction. They were the preliminaries. They were the show to show that there is a real one coming. And as I come to you this day to tell you that the end of democracy has come, it is true. Nobody can stand and stop what I'm saying because it's not possible. God has allowed democracy to run for 1,500 plus years. Since Socrates, Aristotle, Plato brought this idea. Democracy is an idea from human beings. And it's never perfect. Can you imagine the government change in the United States of America? It's going to bring all kinds of terrible change. For Biden to appoint a gay into his government. Can you imagine how heaven will be angry? Abomination. And this is the democracy that we are talking about, going to allow people to cause abortion legally. All kinds of things. So these are the things that democracies offer to us. Where you see government with high expenditure. Like this video, please. Like this video, because this video will make others' life transformed and your life too. And remember to subscribe. And don't forget to share it to people you know. The most important of all, like it, just thumb it, because it will help this information to go to other people. Remember, God said we should be each other's keepers. Governments run expensive budgets. Thank God for President John Makalu of Tanzania, a man who was supposed to collect a pay of $15,000, cut it down to $4,000 or $5,000. That will tell you that this is a different human being altogether. Cut down the government appointment. Look at our country here. Why must 30 million country have 80 and plus ministers? For what? Just to waste the nation's little resources. The president appointed over 100 and people made noise. They didn't care. That is how politicians are wicked. When you give them the power, then they will now become tyrants over your lives. That's how governments behave. And when they thought that, oh, we are a listening government, where? When the professional was asked, how many government appointees should we be having as a small country like Ghana? That a little bit or 40. Can you imagine? 40 or a little bit 40, over 40. And we have over 80. And each one of these people will be using 4 by 4 Land Cruisers, wasting resources, fueling. No wonder somebody showed how European presidents were going from a European country to another country. They were riding bicycles. Macron and his colleagues, the security were all riding bicycles to cross to the other nation. But what happened with Africa? When they showed Africa, our president, the convoy of Land Cruisers. Oh my God, waste of resources. Unnecessary expenditure. The governments in Africa have over 60% of income expenditure. What is that? How much will be left for the country to be developed? And our people don't have common water to drink. Over 6 million Ghanaians don't have water to drink. Is that the kind of democracy we are talking about? When people in the city who enjoy good water were given free water, and the people in the villages were never sent even such a water for free. Is that not unfairness? That is why the end of democracy has come. Whether you like it or not, democracy has come to its end. That is why the evidence was when Ghana had this trouble in the parliament and America had the worst. And look at Uganda. Is that democracy? These behaviors, these people, what is in them that will show you a hope of the future? If the leaders that make laws, look at God. He said, I have exalted my word, which is God's law, above his name. That means God does not joke with his word, which is the law. So our legislative people shouldn't joke with their law. But look at their behavior in parliament. Very disgraceful, uncalled for. But it is a sign. God said that, why can't you read the signs? Mordecai read the signs when Haman and his group planned to kill all the children of God. Today we must read the sign of evil people, the Hamans of our time and our generation, who have planned to kill us with COVID-19 and vaccines. Mordecai said something interesting. That Esther, who knows why you are in the parliament of King Ahasuerus at such a time as this? Such as time as this. The word such as time talks about timetable and period. A calendar. What is the calendar of today's generation? What is the calendar of our world? Why will people be fighting that people must take vaccine by force? Why? In fact, scientifically, it's difficult to come out with a vaccine less than 5 years. How come we are being pushed? And a government can come out and boldly say, when you take the vaccine and something happened to you, you can't take anybody to court. What do you mean? What kind of democracy is this? What kind of democracy is this? Jesus, to your information, talked much about politics and democracy. And that's what I'm going to take you in. I have shown you in the Old Testament when God used his own time to explain and showed us how he's interested in governments of this world. Jesus, apart from Isaiah 9, 6, and 7, when he carried a government, there are other times in the New Testament, Jesus talked about government. And I'm going to unveil it to you and to let you know that God is interested in the running of the affairs of government on planet Earth. Remember to like this video and then share it with your friends and family. And then don't forget to subscribe if you are new so that this can get you to another level. May the Lord richly bless you.